Hey, and welcome back to an actual game session with 5 players of Frosthaven. It can get a little intense. So in order to help manage this, we've decided to take the Outpost phases offline, and we use a private Discord channel that we have set up for all of our players, where we walk through and do all of our planning in the time between our game sessions in order to manage the Outpost phase. And then I'm going to be recording them and uploading them for you to view and critique and let us know everything else we've messed up along the way. So this will be our first one, so I'm expecting I'll make a couple of errors along the way, and I would love to hear back from our viewers about what we did wrong, what we could do better, things like that, or even if we maybe built the wrong thing occasionally. That can be very useful to kind of learn and plan as we go along the way. So with that in mind, I'm going to get us started. So for those who aren't familiar with the Outpost phase, it's pretty straightforward. We start with the passage of time, hop into the Outpost event, build it in operations, downtime, and then construction. So I'm going to try to kind of process that in order, but there's one thing that our party kind of did a little bit out of order just to manage our resources and communication a little bit more fluidly on the Discord. But I'll cover that when we get there. So to start out, we get back, and first off, as always, our wonderful group is called The Wrong Stuff. So we get back and we process time, which basically means just marking off the first spot of, in this case, it's summer. It looks like we have 4 more before we'll get a story event here that we'll have to read at this point when we mark it off. Though there's some weird rules that if we're in a middle of an event or some things can push those numbers out. Not going to worry too much about that here. I'll cover that if that ever happens in our campaign as we go along, which knowing us, it'll almost certainly happen. You'll be seeing more of that sheet as we progress forward. So at this point we have to process the Outpost event. So the first Outpost event card we drew, and it's knock, knock, knock. Mail call, open up. You open the door to find a grumpy Quirtle with a low riding sack of mail. She tosses a lumpy package wrapped in cord to you. No name, but the address. This address, it's yours now, and runs off. As she swiftly walks away, she snaps her fingers, remembering something. Oh, right, this too. She hands over a letter addressed to you. As she wanders off for a drink, you rip the letter open and read the note scrawled in excellent cursive. Please do not open the package. We will retrieve it. Leonidas and Maximus. So our party talked heavily about this one, and apparently I'm the only untrustworthy character in the party. I wanted to open the package and pop that open. Everybody else just kind of disagreed with me, so we ended up with a vote of 4-1, and went with option B, which was respect their request. As a result, as you can see on the bottom, against all the curiosity in your being, you refrain from opening the lumpy package. A short while later, 2 Esthers dressed in drab yellow arrive at your door. Hello, mercenaries. We are Leonidas and Maximus. We have come for our package. You hand it over, and they tear open the top, reaching much too deep inside to be obeying the laws of the universe. Out come a large black diamond, the shadow gem. We have your payment, as agreed. They hand you a sack of coins and then turn and leave, passing the diamond back and forth between them. Gain 30 collective gold. So, we're not quite sure how to handle the collective gold at this point. We don't see anything on the campaign sheet to track gold, even though you can track everything but gold. It doesn't have gold. But to keep things a little bit simple for our party, what we ultimately decided to do was add a collective gold option to the sheet. So you can see I've written that up just by the Frosthaven supply. And give ourselves the 30 gold. We know that's not entirely according to the rules. It sounds like we're supposed to divvy up amongst the players, but we kind of like this idea of a town gold supply for things like this. We don't plan to turn over players' gold because we know that goes away when you retire, so we don't want to turn that over to the town. But having this little bit of gold that can be used that we collect off of things like outpost events or the rare thing like that, that is earned in the town to spend towards like some of the construction things like that. We think we want to give that a shot. If anybody thinks that this might really blow the balance in some way, please let us know because there may be things that happen later that could be problematic with this. But if that's the case, we can always reverse this and divvy up the gold quick or something like that before our next game. Okay, after the outpost event phase, we now head into building operations. What this means is at this point in the game, you have 4 buildings available to you. So we have the workshop, the barracks, the alchemist, and the craftsman. Of these, only 2 of them can we actually do something with. And that would be the workshop or the barracks. So with that in mind, I'm going to remove the other 2 from the screen. Because the craftsman and the brewer happen technically in phase 4, the downtime, where players can craft potions or craft gear or things like that. The workshop, we could build one of these 3 items. They feel kind of important, but we're very limited on resources coming out of just the first mission. So we ultimately decided to pass on any of those and decided not to actually construct any right now. That leaves the barracks, which collectively train up to 1 soldier for 3 gold and 1 material resource. Soldiers seem important. We're looking at the overall campaign sheet, and we see a lot of stuff about total defense and soldier feats and town guard perks and all that kind of stuff. And then you have in the middle here this kind of soldier tracking. So this felt really important to us, and 3 gold and 1 resource just fundamentally doesn't seem that expensive. So what we decided to do was, here, let me pull that off the screen. We decided to take 3 of that party gold that I was telling you about. So I'll wipe that out here and drop that to 27. And then Peter, with his character, generously decided to donate the lumber from his character that he collected in Mission 1. And that was what enabled us to train up our first soldier. So I will mark that here. So we have 1 level 1 soldier at this point. That's all the building operations we can do because we just don't have a lot built right now. And that led us on to now we could do downtime and construction. For managing, since we're doing it asymmetrically, we're doing it over Discord over a couple of days, it got really hard for people to kind of envision what their resources were and what they were going to do with them. So as a group, we decided the better tact was to decide, were we going to do any construction? First, and that who would pay the resources towards that construction effort, and then that would tell people what resources they had left, and then that would enable them to craft with those resources or have some discussion around, oh, well, I really wanted to craft this item. Could somebody else pay insert like metal, in my case actually this happened, for somebody else to, or so I could still craft my item and somebody else pays the metal towards the building construction. So at this point I'm going to hop into what we decided as far as building construction, and really there were only 3 buildings available for construction outside of the walls, which we do want at some point, but we feel like we need to start progressing towards having more resources since we're clearly short on them. So we had the option of doing the hunting lodge, the mining camp, and the logging camp. And we were looking pretty deeply at those, and I took the wrong sheet out. I'll fix that in a second. And we were looking pretty deeply at those and looking at what everything's taking, and we ultimately decided that the logging camp is probably the one that's going to be in our best interest. Level 1, we can get 1 lumber each time we come back for a cost of 2 gold. Gold seems to be a little bit more available, and we don't have anything to spend it on right now. So having that gold opportunity really seemed ideal to us and getting that going. Here we go. So the very next thing in order to do that is we had to pay the resources. We split pretty much that took almost all of our resources, just being frank. All that left us with from our gathering on our first thing was some herbs between me and Jeremy. Jeremy had 2 herbs. I had 1 herb. It also left Dan with 2 lumber and me with a metal. So really only 6 materials left remaining at the end of the day, but that got us able to use our first sheet. So we've got the removable sticker sheets for the game. So if you look at these, they've got all the levels, and you can kind of see how the logging camp art will get more advanced as we go along the way. But I will pull off the logging camp level 1 sticker. And then if I reach up right on top of the camera here, and see if I can line this up right. Hey, it goes right up to the line. So that helps a little. Oh, actually, where does that go? I don't want to cut off something that I don't want to cut off. Okay. How does that work? Hold on. Oh, this feels like, oh, it's 2 stickers. That would explain it, because there's a cut in the board. They actually were smart about this. Fancy that. Okay, so let me get that first sticker down. That will go over the cut line. And hopefully get this lined up right. There we go. So first sticker down. And now, see if I can line this up right too. Close enough. Not perfect, but I'll take it. It looks like I misaligned the first sticker, so we've got a little bit of weird duplication, but I'll take it. It's good enough. Well, wait, hold on. These are called removable stickers. So let's see how removable. Hey, would you look at that? They actually hold up. So I will line that up still poorly. Okay, so let's get the top. Of those. There. Oh. Oh, that's what was throwing me off. Okay. It's still not going to be perfect, but have I mentioned I suck with stickers? Okay, I'm just going to take this as it is, get the other one lined up with it, and then maybe I'll have my wife or somebody clean it up before we go into game. Okay, so now we've got our logging camp assembled. Pulling back open my Discord just to make sure I follow with some of the stuff that we did. It doesn't look like, since we are already now past the passage of time phase and the outpost event and the building operations, specifically building operations, even though this allows you to collectively buy up to 1 lumber for 2 gold, we're past that phase, so we can't actually spend the 2 gold on that. So I will not be doing that. Instead, Now we headed into the downtime phase. For that, I took the one medal I had remaining, and I've got a personal quest to make a lot of shit, or have a lot of shit. I mean, I have to have like 3 helmets, 3 armor, 3 weapons, 4 items. It's going to take a lot, so I looked through what gear was available to craft for us, which there's actually quite a bit. We were pretty impressed. There's 10 items available to craft, and ultimately lined up with the crude helmet. When you are attacked, treat any 2x attack modifier card, then we draw it as a -1 instead. Um, or sorry, a +1. That's a +1. It's green, so it's a little hard to tell on the screen. I went with this because I hate 2x's. They tend to really screw me over. And this doesn't tap, so it's always in effect. I always love things that don't tap. I view that as being really powerful, especially for a character that I expect to be taking lots of hits over the course of the game. The next thing we did, oh, I put it all the way over there, is Jeremy decided to craft or brew a potion. So let me grab his character sheet quick. Do, do, do. Wrong one. Oh, he's in the box there. Oh, it looks like we actually have a leather left as well, because I'd already marked off stuff. So you can see here that he collected 2 of this plant during it. That means that there's actually 2 spots that we could open on the sheet technically. So there's kind of this, you don't know what kind of potion you're going to brew. So we can open this spot here, or there's this one in the corner that says 2 or more of the same. Ultimately, he decided he wanted to go with the one off the main chart. So I will pop that open. And we have no clue what he's getting right now. So we shall see what this is. Okay, we got an unhealthy mixture, card number 98. So give me a second here, and I'm going to go grab our cards. Okay, this doesn't seem very good. During your turn, perform bleed and poison on self, then lose. I don't quite get why you would want to use this, but that's a thing that we got. Yeah, so that's a thing. Okay, so as far as we can tell, that's all we need to accomplish for an outpost phase. Uh, Not too bad. Takes about 20 minutes to record and put on camera, but it took us several hours actually of going back and forth and analyzing our options and stuff like that. So this allows us to get you more videos and more time up there. As always, like a good like, favorite, subscribe, whatever it may be. And we really love people turning out for our live sessions. Our live sessions will be approximately every 2 weeks on Friday at about 7:30, 7:35 p.m. Pacific time. So we know that's very hard for a lot of people to make it if you're in Europe or on the East Coast of the US, but we always appreciate the commentary and views on YouTube as well afterwards. So hope to see you either on the live stream or see you afterwards. And thank you very much again. And if you're watching this video now, we're actually playing tonight, which is May 19th, 2023. We'll be live on Twitch tonight, and the video should be up sometime on Sunday. Have a good one.